Elon Musk's sense of adventure and vision were actually seeded in his family history. It all originates from his grandfather, Joshua Haldeman. In 1952, an unusual trajectory streaked across the African sky as a handmade aircraft weaved through the clouds, piloted by Musk's eccentric grandfather, Haldeman. He sold all his possessions and embarked on a world tour with his family, traveling through over 60 countries. The flight covered more than 20,000 miles. However, fate did not always favor this brave adventurer. In 1974, Haldeman met with misfortune on a flight to South Africa when the plane's tire got entangled in power lines. The powerful torque led to his unfortunate demise. Perhaps no one anticipated that this wild global adventure would not only reshape the destiny of a family, but also sow the seeds of adventure for his descendants. Haldeman's life seemed destined to be intertwined with adventure. At the age of 7, he lost his father and experienced the bitterness of life early on. To survive, he tried various jobs, from farm work to horse taming, and even ventured into boxing and wrestling, doing whatever it took to fill his stomach. To protect himself, with this fierce determination, by the time he reached his 30s, he owned his own farm in Saskatchewan, Canada. That might have been the rare peaceful period in his life. However, the Great Depression of the 1930s swept across the globe. Haldeman was not spared either. He was unable to repay the bank loans, and his farm and property were seized. Years of hard work went down the drain. Such a blow would be enough to crush the spirit of many, but Haldeman did not succumb. He viewed this experience as a life lesson and gained valuable insights from it. He decided not to rely on banks to control his destiny. Later, he met Wayne, a dance teacher, and it was love at first sight. They shared similar values and a free-spirited nature. After getting married, they jointly ran a massage clinic and accumulated considerable wealth. This experience also provided Musk's mother, Mai, with a materially rich childhood. However, in Mai's later recollections, this period was not the most pleasant part of her memories, because of her father, Joshua Haldeman, had adventure in his blood. A stable life was not his ultimate pursuit. As his wealth accumulated, Haldeman began to seek spiritual fulfillment. He became fascinated with flying and received support from his wife, Wynne. He obtained a pilot's license, bought a second-hand plane, and began flying around with his wife and children. At that time, for most people, a stable life was the guarantee of happiness. However, Haldeman chose a different path. He soared with his family over the North American continent, experiencing the thrill of freedom and speed. But this was just the beginning. Soon, he felt that this was not exciting enough, so he made an even more astonishing decision to sell his house and clinic and fly to Africa with his family. This sounds almost crazy, but for Haldeman, this was the life he had always longed for. He dismantled the plane into parts, transported it to Africa, and reassembled it. From then on, the Haldeman family embarked on a true adventure. They traveled across the African coast, flew over the Pacific Ocean, and explored the mysteries of Asia. Over 2 years, they visited more than 60 countries. One day they might be staring down a lion on the African savannah. The next day, they could be circling above the fjords of Norway, and the day after that, they might appear in the Scottish Highlands. This nomadic lifestyle might be unimaginable for ordinary people, but for the Haldeman family, it is an incredibly wonderful memory. In Maya's memory, there was a time when his father suddenly developed a stomach illness. During a flight, the pain was so severe that he couldn't continue piloting the plane. At that moment, his mother, Wayne, stepped up, took over the controls, and safely flew the plane back to their destination. What is even more surprising is that Wayne did not have a pilot's license. This might be the unique trait of the Haldeman family. When facing challenges, they always manage to display remarkable courage and capability. Growing up in such an environment, Maya's exposure naturally led him to inherit the family's adventurous spirit and resilient qualities. This laid the groundwork for his future life path. Haldeman's adventurous spirit was not only reflected in his around-the-world flights, but he was also full of curiosity about the unknown world. He persistently pursued his dreams. It is said that he once read a novel about a lost city when he was a child, and since then, finding this mysterious city became an obsession in his heart. He embarked on 12 journeys with his family in search of the lost city. Although ultimately all efforts were in vain, he never gave up. People around him called his family the crazy foreigners. But Haldeman didn't mind. He would carefully inspect the plane and plan the route before each flight, preparing for any possible contingencies. He taught the children that as long as you want to do something, you can definitely achieve it. You just need to decide, and then go for it. You must dare to take risks and always be prepared for the unexpected. This phrase also became the Haldeman family's motto. It deeply influenced the descendants, including Musk's way of thinking and behavior patterns. Under Haldeman's influence, May was exposed to the vast world from a young age, developing an independent, brave, and optimistic character. Through numerous adventures, he learned how to face challenges, how to overcome difficulties. Although his later life was full of hardships, he always maintained an optimistic and positive attitude, which is closely related to his childhood experiences. Similarly, Elon Musk's success is also greatly influenced by his grandfather, Joshua Haldeman. It can be said that his ventures all stem from Haldeman's journey around the world in a handmade plane, crossing over 60 countries, flying over 20,000 miles. This fearless spirit of adventure and exploration deeply influenced Musk. It laid the foundation for his future endeavors to change the world and achieve extraordinary success. If Joshua Haldeman could be resurrected now, would he participate in his grandson's ventures? What do you think about Musk's Mars colonization plan, flying a plane to Mars for a trip around the planet?